So the you is repressing and suppressing enough so that the world is organized around you. So you may have a perception where you're the main character in the story, but you're dialoguing the author or the director. That may happen. There may be insights in life where you see that there's a larger picture that you're discussing with. And through certain friendships around the exploration, you're dialoguing the energy, or you're dialoguing the mystery. So then you may see in relationships that your relationship is to the mystery through other human beings. And that once the neurosis enters into the relationship, you lose contact with the essential dialogue. The loss and the finding of the relationship affects you somewhere, physically, sends you places. The loss of a relationship sends you to a place that you could meditate for 50 years and not be able to visit. But it sends you there immediately. The loss of the love, as it's starting to diminish, sends you to a purgatorial zone where you live in duplicity, where your essential being hides from the other because there's a fear of the essence, there's a fear of truth. So we then go into an agreement of subtle lookings the other way as a constant.
Why? Why is there a fear of truth?
In order to maintain the form without the content, there's a subtle agreement. So then you have a date with a certain experience. As it reaches, when it reaches duplicity, you have an agonizing experience waiting for you. It sends you to a place of betrayal. To me, the place of betrayal is a semi-purgatorial hell place. One is trying to rationalize the betrayal. One is blaming the other. One will blame themselves, but they won't. The blame is a way of avoiding seeing. It sends you to this place. What is this place? So the brain and the body will do everything to avoid this place. You see then inherently the human condition when you're in that place.
And the human condition is...
The human condition is this one of longing. You see that the lost love sends you to a place that people are running away from. And it's about nothing.
So the whole pattern is about ducking and dodging this longing and hurt.
It seems that as soon as we come into the place and establish an identity and a history, the history is based on a repression and a suppression in a deeper way. And I feel, but these lives that are being suppressed and repressed are still parallel in our lives. So the you as your history is only an aspect of the existence. One only has at certain times that one retrospectively can see the life that they have lived. Most of us are buffered from that experience. Our participatory act. Okay. The main character is trying to deduce its life, figure out its life, but the author sees this whole story. So the main character doesn't give a life to the other beings, they're objects to satisfy it in some way.
So would it be fair to say that there's a historical self and there's a higher self, or is that an oversimplification?
There's a mystery that once one experiences the mystery, you return to the life from a different thing from your history. So if you have the experience of the larger mystery, there's a compelling invitation that brings you back into the world, no longer your historical drama. So thought is the medium of your history. Every time you come to a challenge, thought remembers your history and so repeats it. And it may be repeating it for hundreds of years. You may find that there are parallel lives with your father that you run into. You read a diary of your mother and you see certain experiences that you could never give her. That you couldn't give her, that she made love with someone, that she had an affair with the milkman, or... Okay, and that would be a shock if I came home and found my mother following the milkman. I say, it would clear up my entire existence. To have seen these people making love accidentally, I would have figured it out in a moment. I didn't have to spend 50 years making end runs around a whack-out experience. So you see that throughout the life there's an agreement to have a dimension hidden. And when you discover that hidden dimension, it changes the plane for you. So there are many realizations that take place throughout your life. It's not, let's take the spookiness out of enlightenment. If you come home and you find your wife making love to the UPS man, you have a realization about something that you probably knew all along, but were keeping hidden from yourself.
But you don't just mean an intellectual realization.
I'm saying you come home and you find your wife making love to the UPS man. As a normal person, it jolts you. It's a blindsiding. Even though you may have known that there has been no lovemaking, that you've been ducking it there for years or whatever, it comes home to you in a moment of perception what you knew. So you see that you conspired in your own experience. Okay. But when it comes home to you, it still comes home to you as a blindsiding. So your mind tries everything it can to protect itself by blaming the other and this and that, but it's sending you to this place. And you don't want to go there. Everything in your system avoids that place. That place is pretty close to a perception. That place is pretty close to a no-me state. So the me will do everything that it can to recover. It gets its massages, it goes to a therapist, it needs help, it's trying to work it out, but actually it's running away from this experience. All this experience is concerned about is that it's not going to let you in it. So it sends you to a masseuse, it sends you to some place, work it out, reconstruct a relationship, do whatever juggling act you have to do in the world, but you're not going to visit this place.
And when you say this place, you mean this place of longing?
You realize that there's a place that's not about you inside your being, but it's not about you. You have a date with that place. In your writing, in your theater, in your movies, you're attempting to access the mystery. And you see it fleeting through the world. You see the thread of the mystery moving through the world. So as a creative being, you see that you had a relationship with that thread. It glimmers. And then when you capture it, it's lost. And when it's lost, you're in a dark place. So when it's lost and you need therapy, you need help, you're neurotic, you understand, you're entering into the density of the place without love, without intelligent love. You enter into the density of the place, and then you meet ambition, and you meet the self in all its variants through thought. So the deeper you go into the density of a thought-organized world around ego-organized thought, then it's historical thought. There's the history of you, there's your family, there's your country, there's your religion, there's your background, there's your network. All of these things become the reality. I am a Jew, I'm a Navajo, I'm this, I'm an American, all of these are so that one is attempting to identify with something so strongly that explains their existence. But from this space, there's nothing, no idea that can explain this place. It's as if the 6 blind men were pulling on the elephant. One had the tail and the other had the leg, and they'd hit you on the head. If you saw the whole elephant, the guy with the tail will try to kill you. So to me that was a Spinoza-like perception. If you see the whole elephant, then you're dealing with people who have a foot or the nose of the elephant or whatever, and how hysterical they're going to get when they know in their hearts that the tail won't fulfill you. And they know in their hearts that no matter what wigs they're wearing or what outfits they're wearing, they cannot be fulfilled by this claptrap. What it does indicate is the level of yearning. That I understand in the religion, that there's a yearning that runs through it. But the religious mind is not the religion. The religion is an attempt to calm the religious mind into a functional thing. But the religious being isn't calm. They have a relationship with the mystery, with God, if you will, with the energy, however